Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about the Silent Hill movie because yes, they just released a new one. As you can see, I'm recording this at 1 a.m. I just actually went to one of those late night screenings of it. And I just gotta say, the movie is called Return to Silent Hill. This is not only one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not just a complete travesty, it's downright disrespectful to Silent Hill. I want to break this down because honestly, I'm genuinely upset. I just went and watched it with my friends. This movie is such an absolute train wreck. I can understand why they just dumped this in January. They didn't advertise it. You probably don't even know this movie exists. But let me talk about why you should not even watch it for free bootleg. Hi, I'm DreamcastGuy. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, obviously, everybody knows that Konami is very much in this era of reinvention. That's why they remade, Metal Gear Solid 3. That's why they did the incredibly good Silent Hill 2 remake. And when they announced the Silent Hill 2 remake game, they said they're doing a Silent Hill 2 remake movie, which is this, Return to Silent Hill. But the biggest weird reveal about this film is that it's not really based on Silent Hill 2. It has the characters. It takes place in Silent Hill, kind of, but pretty much everything that makes Silent Hill 2 so special. The giant plot twists, the cool paranoia, that weird sense that everything is just so deeply, deeply wrong and nightmarish. The movie misses all of that. Let me start with the one positive before we start to break down all the aspects of it that makes me want to just literally rip my eyes out. I do like the special effects of this film. Certain stuff with the environments of it and stuff, right? As James arrives to Silent Hill, comes back in this film, it starts to rain ash. Some of the melting effects of the monsters fighting, some of the weird dragging effects of Pyramid Head's sword. There's certain stuff I feel like they did get correct. This is obviously not the first Silent Hill movie we've had. We've actually had two separate ones before this. We had Silent Hill back in 2006, and then Silent Hill Revelations, which is a complete dumpster fire. This is actually by the guy that made the good Silent Hill movie, Christophe Gans. And for some reason, he came back, he wrote this, he directed this, he got everything he could have wanted, and he decided to just mess it up. Now, let's talk about why this is so different and why I feel like it completely misses the point. And that means we do have to spoil the Silent Hill 2 game, right? Part of what makes Silent Hill 2 so legendary is the plot twist of it. James's wife has passed away of some mysterious disease. It seems like probably cancer. At the start of the game, though, he gets a letter. Come to our special place, Silent Hill. This is like a little resort town that him and Mary, in their good times, possibly their honeymoon and stuff, they spent a lot of time here. Getting this letter, it almost seems transcendent. It seems like this weird, mysterious thing that he has to follow up on, right? Whereas when he gets there, there's monsters, there's people like Eddie, there's people like Angela, there's people like Laura. There's all these people that are just as damaged, distraught, and lost as James is. And the big twist ends up being that Mary didn't pass away of natural causes. James killed her. He smothered her as like an act of trying to escape this sick husband life. He wanted to try and go away. And when he did that, he made this twisted version of Silent Hill. He's made Pyramid Head with his own anger. He's made all these terrible things like Maria, this weird like mirror image of the party girl he always wanted Mary to be. In the movie, none of that is the case. So the weirdest part about this movie that makes it absolutely fall apart just from like a watching experience is that the movie is basically half flashbacks. Instead of being married to Mary, instead they're just kind of dating. He decides to move in with her. Where does she live? She lives in Silent Hill. Now, why is that so crucial? It turns out that in this version of the story, there is a lot of cult stuff going on in Silent Hill. There is a lot. It's a heavy theme of Silent Hill 1, 3, 4, right? We know a lot about that culty business. Dark gods reviving the age of darkness and stuff, right? Well, in this version, Mary is the daughter of the cult leader. And in a way, she's almost sort of chosen to be the like messiah figurehead. In a lot of ways, they do all these dark rituals and stuff. And in the course of this, Mary, throughout her life, has been slowly poisoned by the cult. We don't know why. It doesn't really explain why they would want to do that. Her dad is also dead, but they don't really show him. Her dad is in the credits of the movie, which makes me think there's a longer cut of this and they just cut all his parts. But when we meet James, he seems to have just moved in with Mary. She immediately gets sick from the cult poison, and then he just immediately smothers her with a washcloth. And then click forward, he's a drunk, and now he's coming back. So the whole setup feels so bad. The whole twist is completely destroyed, and instead, Return to Silent Hill tries to do a completely different twist that is absolutely downright disrespectful to the source material. Obviously, we talked about the fact that all the cast of characters, the other survivors in Silent Hill 2, are very, very unique. They have their own lives, their own trauma, their own very messed up stuff going on. Eddie's problems with bullying, Laura being a kid in the hospital and probably an orphan, stuff like seeing Angela and Angela's trauma from her father that's made her, well, pretty much ready to quit the game, if you catch my drift. In the movie, all the people in Silent Hill are just Mary. The little girl, Laura, oh yeah, that's just the kid version of Mara. Angela, oh yeah, that's the child of Joseph, the cult leader. It's the teenage version of Mary. I don't know why you would do this plot twist, but in a lot of ways, it cheapens the fact that Silent Hill is a prison of self-torment. Everybody is going there to be stuck and tortured for their own personal sins, their own personal hell, right? They have decided to just rip that apart for absolutely no gain. The plot twist of Silent Hill 2 is already so good. Doing it this way truly makes no sense. I also gotta say, I hate the fact that this movie, the fact that half of it takes place in Silent Hill before it collapsed. I think a lot of people, myself included, have always been curious about what Silent Hill looks like, but it always seemed like a tiny, smoky mountain town. I mean, I guess I don't even gotta say look like. We see it in the Silent Hill 2 remake. We've run around. We've seen those streets. We've walked into those diners. We've fought those monsters. So seeing this version of it, it looks so different and so big and modern. There's like nightclubs. There's like giant stuff all over the place. The hospital is like 55 floors high. I don't even know why you'd have I don't know why you'd make a hospital that freaking massive. Return to Silent Hill is just so bad because it truly feels like it's afraid to just do the already fantastic story of Silent Hill. Exploring the town, but in such a different way. Trying to be like, oh yeah, the apartments you go through in Silent Hill 2. Well, now it's James's apartment. I think of all the things in this that really irked me the most, it's the fact that it felt like they just didn't want to delve deep on any of the actual dark themes about Silent Hill, right? They don't really just talk about the violence that James is trying to repress. You know, there's a novelization version of Silent Hill 2, and it's very good. I like it a lot. And you get to hear James's internal monologue. And one of the things that he talks about in his head is that he feels guilty that he enjoys killing the monsters. That when he's beaten to death with a pipe, he feels bad about it. In this movie, he does not fight a single one of the monsters. He runs away. You see almost none of them. I guess he bashes in like 4 or 5 of the nuns, or sorry, not the nuns, the nurses, but they like shatter like ceramics. Pyramid Head obeys his orders, so Pyramid Head is sort of like just his like remote control to fight some people. They also did a thing where Pyramid Head is obviously a very mysterious character. I've written videos on this channel about Pyramid Head. In this, multiple times, it just zooms in and shows under the mask of Pyramid Head, it's just James Sunderland, which we know, like obviously that's sort of one of the twists of Silent Hill 2 is that James's violence literally physically incarnate, but just doing it literally, here's James as Pyramid Head. This movie just aggravated because it just felt like it was trying to be better than the source material. But the source material is so great on its own that trying to ascend it, messing it up, destroying every other character around it, it just feels needless. It feels, honestly, super downright disrespectful and pathetic in a lot of ways. This has been a rambly video. I don't know why the hell they made this. I get why they dumped it in freaking January. This was just bad, bad, bad. I watched it in a completely empty theater, and it was not worth my time. Tell me your thoughts about Silent Hill in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. yes, this is probably a slightly lower energy video, and that's because it's 1:10 a.m., baby. I'm tired as hell. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.